Hey, everybody. Welcome to our first briefing. I am Ryan Rocliffe. I am from Hyper, and I am the field CTO here. If we do take an attempt at making information more readily available. If you do like this type of content, if you are interested in seeing more of this type of content, do definitely let us know on our YouTube channel as well as in our LinkedIn comments here. But we're excited to share this report that we're releasing that we did in conjunction with Vance and Bourne. We commissioned them surveying around 400 IT professionals and decision makers or IT security decision makers at retail organizations as well as their customers. So the actual report is around the changing landscape of retail security. I do believe we have a lovely graphic that should be posted. And there we go. Yes, the impact of customer identity security in retail. This is how we like to look very fancy and sophisticated in our live streams. The interesting thing about this is what is actually the true cost to retail organizations around cyber attacks, maybe versus what we see in regards to retail theft or general shoplifting. As we move forward, the lovely little statistic, maybe we want to probably bring that graphic more forward versus it being all my beautiful face. But let's break down the numbers that we got in this report. Look at the scope of the problem, right? So the actual problem is a staggering 57% of retail organizations were breached through their authentication process. That's specifically their authentication process. Think about it. More than half of the retailers experienced unauthorized access through their security gates that they have had already deployed and or have provisioned and think are secure. The financial impact is pretty severe. On average, organizations are spending $6.27 million per breach caused by weak authentication. That's pretty staggering. That's a lot of money I don't want to lose out of my pocket. This isn't just about lost merchandise, though. It is about compromised systems, as well as the brand's damaged reputation and the loss of customer trust. And when we think about customer trust, I mean, there's plenty of organizations we've all experienced our breaches in the past, and there's plenty of businesses I don't do business with that have been in breaches in the past. You basically stop leveraging their services, or you move on. You find a competitive offering, and you're not going to invest the money that you would have taken out of your pocket to actually work with that brand anymore. So brand loyalty does play a very, very critical part to this equation. And speaking of that trust, 65% of organizations reported being victims of identity fraud. But here's where it gets interesting. Let's look at how the consumers are reporting this. So in this report, we had both the businesses, the retailers, as well as we had some consumers as well. So we actually got some retail individuals who were willing to answer in these surveys, and an overwhelming 81% of these shoppers say they would completely stop shopping at a retailer following a data breach. That's not just about lost data, that is the loss of business. I shared previously just a few minutes ago that I personally have left other services that I may have been leveraging or brands that I may have been an advocate for. Once they do have a breach, you pretty much back off wanting to be that advocate, right? You don't want to go and put your name as you share these other brands. 78% of the consumers would actively favor retailers offering passkeys. Now, us being at Hyper, being part of the FIDO Alliance, this is overwhelmingly exciting. We love seeing the advocacy of passkeys, showing that there is a clear preference for stronger security measures, but we also know that with passkeys, it's not just the security measures, it's also a very easy to use authentication method, right? It's simple, on device, your biometric, what everybody uses day in and day out. And that is a very, very strong number to help us drive the rest of passkey adoption across the retail space. So for us, this is a very, very solid report. But perhaps the most telling is 85% of shoppers want more regulatory oversight to protect their personal data. This definitely signals a significant shift in consumer awareness and demands for digital security. Now, we have been in this big, long debate for a very, very long time about, data sovereignty and rights to our data, we can always go back and look at GDPR, as well as California CCPA, and all these attempts to help consumers have protections of their data and how that data can be used. This is more along those lines in which consumers have grown more and more aware that they should have more rights over their data. And I think that this would be an effort or something that needs to be championed at a legislative level. And hopefully we will see those steps progress much, much further. Now, what I would say is with these findings, it's a strong, clear example that retail security has evolved far beyond just the physical theft prevention. We've seen plenty of videos of, people doing smash and grabs, and just shoplifting in general. But the retailers deal with a dual challenge. They're protecting not just the merchandise that's in their physical stores, but they're also their customers' digital identities. And for us here at Hyper, it's pretty critical. We are in the identity space. We are in identity assurance. Digital identities to us are everything. We have had many of his slogans over the years that identity is the new perimeter. The digital identities are that one thing that follows everybody everywhere. And they just keep growing and growing, whether it be enterprises onboarding new businesses, new employees, or if it happens to just be more services come online that we as consumers use every day, we create another digital identity footprint. And this is just going to continue to grow and grow. More applications get built, more services come online, more people end up having more devices. Identity sprawl is going to be nothing but the future for us. So we do need to protect these identities. So the message from the consumers on this is very strong. They're willing to walk away from the retailers who can't protect their data, and they're actively seeking businesses that prioritize digital security. As I was saying, I personally have done it. I'm pretty sure anybody who might be watching or who does watch this would probably relate to some degree in saying, all right, yeah, I have walked away from those services or those brands in which I had heavily invested in. Once they were breached, that data in my whole account gets closed out. For retailers, the path forward involves embracing stronger authentication methods and treating cybersecurity not as an IT issue, but as a fundamental aspect of customer service and business sustainability. This is critical. I have been a champion of this for many, many, many years, is that, digital identity, or let's just go with IAM, is not an IT function. It was a cybersecurity function. And as it being a cybersecurity function, it is also a core aspect to all business. And so it's not necessarily a cost center. It is actually something in which is more productivity center, because securing that identity, whether it be from a consumer use case or from the workforce, we have to be able to enable all of our users to have positive user experiences, remain extremely productive, and not be inundated with too many push messages, multi-factor authentication challenges, and just making their day-to-day lives more difficult. So all this kind of wraps it to the common beliefs that we've got to make identity, we've got to make the security implications or the security implementations around our identities to be seamless. And sorry, I got caught with a message. We want to see the evolution of cybersecurity being not a cost center, but a business enabler. These are all functions that add value to the overall operating of the business. If you have these breach, if you have these numbers, these are all staggering numbers. They are all big, giant cost. If you happen to be the one that's going to be breached. And we all know that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you're going to have a successful attack. So it is time for us to evolve these out. And I do want to thank anybody who's watching this. Excuse me. And once again, if there's content that's similar, if we want to do more briefings, more kind of reports when we get them, kind of just giving a quick little overview of what you can find in it. This is a 13-page report. I highly recommend that you click the link that will probably be in the description, or it will be directly on the Hyper website. And if there is a need or desires for more content like this, we are here to try to drive more awareness and share what we have as our own experiences, as well as what offerings we're going to try to help bring to market to help mitigate quite a few of the problems that we are seeing. Obviously, here at Hyper, we do have a solution that helps many of these, specifically around passkeys and also identity verification. So once again, we appreciate you all for watching. And if you want to get a hold of the report, it looks like we got a link in the comments. And we hope to hear from you guys soon. And maybe we'll do another briefing in a short period. For everybody, have a wonderful afternoon. And thanks for watching. And we appreciate you.